Hey guys, it's Katie at scrappingkatie.ctmh.com, and I have a one-page layout to share with you using some new products from the January-February 2020 catalog from Close to My Heart. So I'm using the Spruced Up paper and some new thin cuts. They're stitched bracket cuts. The largest measures right under 3 inches, so it's perfect for layouts or cards. So here's a look at what Spruced Up looks like. It's very wintry, but I just love the colors. Here's a view of some of the background and texture papers, which I'm going to be using that green, the striped, and then this wood grain for my base. So off camera, I took two 3-inch squares and cut them with the thin cuts. I'm going to use the insides for focal points and the outside for frames for my photo. So as you can see here, I'm kind of thinking I want those focal pieces to be in the top left corner. So behind them, I'm going to use that green background and texture paper, and that's cut into a 7.5-inch square. And then that striped paper is going to kind of anchor it, I guess you would say, on that right side. To soften up that background and texture paper, I'm going to use a piece of vellum, and that's cut at 7.25 by 7.25. And then I guess I'm just going to kind of take a look at adding some more of this sangria color, which is a really pretty kind of maroon. So my bracket frames are 3 inches. So I'm just trimming down these photos to a little bit less than 3 inches so they don't hang off too much. And I'm just using liquid Tombow adhesive, but any liquid adhesive would work. And I am just putting those right over the photo. I tried to print them where the majority of the background would show, but it just didn't work. So the good thing about using the 4 squares on top of that vellum is I was able to add adhesive behind where those squares would be, and then that way you can't see the adhesive on the vellum. So I am just going to kind of try to line out everything, kind of look at my stickers. And of course, my favorite technique is to use wax paper. And that way the sticker sticks to the wax paper. I can kind of play with placement until I'm ready to actually peel it off and adhere it down. So I pretty much got everything where I want it. I am going to pull in some wood shapes and see how that looks. And finally, I decided I better start adhering things down that I know their placement. I do switch out my photo and my husband's photo simply because he kind of anchors us on the right. So I decided to use that there. So I'm going to adhere everything down. That zip strip and then that striped background and texture kind of create a frame. And then that tiny zip strip at the bottom, as well as that sangria background and texture. It's 1/2 inch and I ended up tearing it. And then I'm going to pop dot this sticker from the sticker sheet that says just chillin'. So again, I really wanted to use the tree and the deer. We are in the Grand Canyon, so there are trees, and I'm sure there are some deer, but it just ended up not working. So I decided to, while I was thinking about that, go ahead and add 3D foam tape to the back of my title. And I'm just using the inside of the shaker window foam squares. I love using those for just kind of bits and pieces. So I'm going to play, and I end up just kind of going with the stars. I like how they look. And then now I'm going to pull out the January 2020 stamp of the month. And there's a sentiment that I'm going to ink up in espresso. And it says, seek everyday magic. And I thought it was just perfect for this layout because I just thought that the landscape of the Grand Canyon it's just purely magical. So I'm going to add 3D foam tape to that and kind of adhere that down. And then adhere these stars again with liquid Tombow adhesive. I'm going to pull out my tried and true edge distressor from Close to My Heart and kind of distress those edges. And then a date stamp that I'm going to ink up in espresso ink and then stamp the date down. And then I'm just going to take my pencil and my T ruler like I usually do and add some journaling lines, which I will add the journaling after I photograph my project. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or would like to view the new catalog, check out the links below and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks, bye, guys.